Legend T. Scott Gross.
Yes, would you please? Once upon a time. I love those words. I grew up by the railroad tracks, and on summer evenings about this time, my gran and I would climb up into the wooden, creaky porch swing, look over past the catalpa trees where the L&N Railroad ran, and we'd wait for the freighters to come out of the yard. They were big and black as the night. And I'd be waiting for Gran to say those magic words, once upon a time. She'd say, once upon a time, and I'm thinking, gonna be a story. Once upon a time, there was a little boy, and I'm thinking, could be me. Once upon a time, there was a little boy with big blue eyes, and I'm thinking, I'm going on an adventure. My little imaginary friend, my first imaginary friend, was an imaginary Scot, and I rode the rails with my Gran. And then I got in this wonderful business, and there were other imaginary friends like Bubba, and Sweet Roberta, and Christian and Doc, and a whole collection of imaginary, but rooted in truth, friends. And then somewhere about 14 years ago, I picked up another imaginary friend, not so imaginary, a fellow by the name of Mr. Parkinson. He's not a friend that I would have intentionally imagined. I guess it's just fair to say that I have Parkinson, but he doesn't have me, and it's going to stay that way. At our house, about this time of day, about the time when the trains, the freights are running past Gran's old house, we do two things. One is we head for the hot tub. The other thing we do is, well, actually we don't do it, but my meds kind of run out. This is the time of day. It's sort of a witching hour for me. And whatever is my latest symptom du jour comes to its head. Right now, my symptom is what we call them stutter steps. Little teeny tiny steps. I don't actually go anywhere. I just sort of stand there and vibrate. It's very frustrating. And I come in from getting up in the middle of the night, and I can see the bed. It's right over there. It's about 5 or 6 feet. Can't make my feet do that. And so sometimes I just jump. I'm fun in bed. You want a surprise? That's the way to do it. And so that's my 9 o'clock about every night. And you know, once upon a time, I used to think they were only for old stories, but they can be for a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And a few weeks ago, Buns and I went out for our evening dip in the hot tub. And I settled in rather quickly. But as she got in the tub, she stood bolt upright and looked over into the hedges, and she said, "Shoo!" Now, I was kind of following this, and I noticed what she was shooing, and it looked like a cat, a black cat, with a white stripe down its back. And instantly she was down to periscope depth, pulled the lid over on us, and now you got two old naked people staring out from underneath this hot tub cover. Saucer brown eyes, and she says, "Skunk." I said, "What do you want to do?" She said, "I think I can make a break for it." Well, okay, that's fine, on 3. So on 3, I flipped open the lid. She jumps out of the hot tub, takes about 2 big steps into the kitchen, and is quickly in the safety of the kitchen, behind the glass door. And I'm thinking, well, what do I do for me? I don't think I'm that fast. Well, I actually had a secret weapon, and that secret weapon is that Buns is a screamer. Not a little feminine screamer, a big, lusty, blood-curdling screamer, apparently of the kind that skunks don't see all that often. And my skunk was paralyzed. Just paralyzed, couldn't move. And I'm thinking, it's not going to get any better than this. So I jump out of the hot tub, do a couple of 100 quick steps. I'm no closer to the kitchen than I was when I started. And so finally I just jumped the remaining 6 feet. Now, it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't graceful, but it got the job done. And that pretty much describes my career as a professional speaker. I've never been the pretty one. I've never been graceful. But I always got the job done. Me and my imaginary friends. Oh yes, and one more friend. She's not imaginary. She is pretty. She is graceful. And this is her night too. Good night.